Your online sports show returns for another Saturday afternoon. However, we turn a new day. Despite it being a new day, we have the same footballing problem that we've been talking about for years and we're still gonna talk about for years to come. Racism and football, which which players of color have been on the receiving end of as far as the footballing point of view is concerned. We've had this with our African brothers who've taken to Europe to play football, namely our very own Siaba Namvete, the Suleiman Taris, just to name a few. Mark Andre Zoro is one of them who took the opportunity to represent, say, to play in the Spice Trade and the Serie A, just to mention a few. Your online sports show returns to your screens. Good afternoon. Welcome to it. This is All Things Football, Football Unpacked. My name is Apia Khoto. The show is available on your social media platforms. We are on Facebook, All Things Football, Football Unpacked. Please like, comment, and share. YouTube. The show is also available on all things football and football unpacked. Hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Ring the bell for notifications where you get for the show, that new episode that premieres every week Saturday afternoon. On to news making headlines before I have my say regarding the racist incident that occurred between Real Madrid, which Brazilian international Vinicius Junior received at the hands of Benfica on Tuesday evening during the Champions League knockout playoff encounter. Let's turn to our headlines making headlines the world of football in the last 7 days. Nigerian international Olisanda has joined Stellenbosch FC. Now, the Nigerian defender joins the Cape Winelands-based side as a free agent after his contract with the Buccaneers came to an end. They took to the Stellies took to their social media account to announce the signing after speculations linking him with the Cape-based side, stating the Nigerian international joins Stellenbosch on a free transfer after spending the last 4.5 seasons with Orlando Pirates and arrives as a welcome addition to the club's defense. That becomes the fourth Nigerian to represent Stellenbosch alongside teammates Ibrahim Jabbar, Kazi Enyenaya, and of course former Maroons forward and Stanley Dingba, who has since plied his trade elsewhere. He'll be donning the number 99 jersey, and code was most likely and was said to be in line to take part in the game against Magesi in a Betway Premiership encounter, which they played to by a 1-0 draw. The statement goes on to say, Odessa is a player with demonstrated ability at the highest level. We are thrilled to have him join Stellenbosch FC. The statement was made by Stelli's CEO and Rob Bernardi. We turn our attention to Mamelodi Sundowns, who are on a quest for that second star. They've since discovered their quarter-final fate after beating Algerian side MC Alger by 2 goals to 0 at Loftus in the last group stages in what was a must-win encounter. Other encounters include Aris Bagan taking on Al Hilal Omdurman in another quarterfinal. Now Al Hilal Omdurman was paired with Mamelodi Sundowns, where they topped the table after handing Sundowns their first defeat of the group. That is. Another one is an all North African derby, I beg your pardon. Esperance taking on Alali, while Mamelodi Sundowns will face the only West African side and Stade Malien of Mali. As far apart will take on defending champions who will be also on a quest for a second star, and Pyramids FC. It's been confirmed that winner of quarterfinal 2 will take on the winner of the third quarterfinal, while quarterfinal 4 will play a quarterfinal 1 winner in the semi-final. Other teams that discovered their fate. Unfortunately, no Southern PSL team will be represented in this year's CAF Confederations Cup after Kaiser Chiefs and Stellenbosch FC bowed out simultaneously. Now, the list 4 draw was also conducted in quarterfinals in DRC Manema Union is one of the few to make the pack alongside CR Belouizdad, USM Alger, and AS Otoko of Congo Brazzaville, with the Moroccan duo of Wydad Casablanca and Olympique Safi. Quarterfinal 1 includes El Amazri taking on CR Belouizdad. Olympic Safi will take on Wydad Casablanca. AS Otoho take on Zamalek, while MAS Manima Union will take on USM Alger. As the case with the Champions League, quarterfinal winners, 4 winners will take on quarterfinal 2 winners in the semi-final, while quarterfinal winner 3 will take on quarterfinal 3 winner. On to our next story. Now we do not have much time, so we are gonna have to be as brief. The World Football Governing Body provided an update regarding the implementation of the video assistant referee. Now you may be wondering what is going on with the video assistant referee. Something that Gayton McKenzie, Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie has been very vocal about, because we do not want, now we're trying to avoid teams feeling cheated or shortchanged. They've been complaints about VR refereeing mistakes, refereeing errors that have compromised certain teams. Some teams are fighting relegation. Some have been relegated, while certain coaches have also been fired. According to the FIFA Quality Program for Video Assistant Referee, the application guide version of January 2026 was issued on the 17th of February. The certification progress has since been outlined. On note is the application and test request, contract and certification, implementation and approval program. Each system must be tested in accordance with the FIFA Qualities Program for Video Assistant Referee, which is a test manual. Now the agreement provides the legal basis which governs the use of the FIFA marks and outlines the product certification as such as the rights and obligation for parties arising from the production. From the product certification. FIFA does not issue any letters or confirmation emails to any providers, which reads part of the FIFA circular issued along the VR test manual for the January 2026 version. Now, VR was introduced, the video assistant referee was introduced in the 2018 World Cup and has spread out since then as a means to support the match referee with additional information incorporated into broadcast. Now, it remains to be seen when the system will be implemented. However, they've been talks of the system being tried out as we go into the Nedbank Cup semi-final which will be played in the latter stages of the season. On to our other story. Marimo Gallants can confirm that they they've been they received court documents amid reports that Morocco Swallows have cancelled the sale agreement between the two parties. Now, Marimo Gallants bought the PS Betway Premiership status from the Duba Beds before the start of the 2024-25 season. However, there are indications that the club, now based in Free State, has not met all the obligations of the sale agreement. This resulted in Swallows taking up the matter with the court, as they take up the matter now. This resulted in Swallows taking the matter to the court as they are now moving to reverse the transaction. The story was provided by SABC sport journalist in Mazola Mlefe. Marimo Gallants only paid half of the agreed 40 million rand amount for the sale, which is half amount for the sale, while 10 million rand was meant to be paid to SARS. That has not happened. The SARS payment is believed to now have an interest of 3 million rand, making it 13 million owed to the taxman. Morocco Swallows want their agreement to be terminated legally by the courts. If successful, the top flights would be transferred back to Morocco Swallows. Now, Bahlabane Bantra have since provided a statement regarding the matter. They've since provided a statement regarding the matter, stating that on the 16th of February, Marimo Gallants confirms that the club received court documents related to a matter by Swallows last Friday. At this stage, the club is now before the court. The club will not make any further public comments, as it will be nor will it be participating in interviews regarding the issue. Marimo Gallants respects the legal process and will allow the matter to proceed through the appropriate judicial channels. The club would like to assure its supporters and stakeholders that operators continue as normal, management, technical staff will and players remain fully focused, and the preparations ongoing for the commitments of the remainder of the season. Marimo Gallants appreciates the continued support and understanding from its fans and partners during this time. Further communication will be issued if and when appropriate. The team's attention remains firmly in football matters as preparations continue for the upcoming fixture on the 1st of March against Cape Town against Durban City. Uh, Moving on to another, still talking about Marimo Gallants news also coming in is that the Bloemfontein-based side are set to switch to an alternative venue following an order by the PSL to move for both Bloemfontein-based sides to move their matches out to alternative venue, while the Dr. Petrus Molemela Stadium goes under maintenance and repairs, which after a shutdown was ordered by the Premier Soccer League, which is the local club football body. Now the statement was made. The Premier League ordered improvements to the stadium after the conditions fell below standard, which forced both sides to switch to alternative venues. Now, Gallants finished as runners-up in last season's Carling knockout. However, have since dropped to 14th place in the Betway Premiership after the last successive defeats. They've now announced on Tuesday that they will be playing taking their home games to the Lucas Masterpieces Morepe Stadium, which is in Atteridgeville, while neighbors Siwelele FC will be taking their home matches to the Toyota Stadium, which is also known as the Free State Stadium. In a statement made by Marimo Gallants, they confirmed that Marimo Gallants wishes to formally announce a temporary change of home venue from Dr. Petrus Mulema Stadium, located in Atteridgeville, Pretoria. This decision follows ongoing pitch and infrastructure maintenance currently taking place at the Dr. Petrus Molemela Stadium after the venue did not meet the required standards during the Premier Soccer League inspection. We would like to reassure our loyal supporters in Bloemfontein that across the Free State that the club is not relocating. There's a temporary measure to ensure compliance with the league's requirements while necessary updates are being completed. We remain fully committed to our home in Bloemfontein, and all matches will return to the Dr. Petrus Molemela Stadium. Will return to the Dr. Petrus Molemela Stadium as soon as the maintenance is finalized and the venue is cleared for use. In the meantime, we'll call upon the Bahlabane Bantwa family to continue standing with us and showing unwavering support at the Lucas Morepe Stadium. Your presence and energy remain our greatest strength. Now let's turn on to our last story. Now back to the introduction. Now the Achilles of the talk of the day. I did say I would have something to say, drop in an opinion. I'm not sure how my fellow football fanatics will feel about it. Something might happen to me. I'm not too sure. I feel not enough is being done to make our players of color feel comfortable, feel safe. This comes after the incident involving Vinicius Jr. in a game against Benfica in the Champions League encounter. In a Champions League encounter, which Los Blancos won by an odd goal, in a goal that was scored by Vinicius Jr., who took to the corner flag to celebrate, for which he was cautioned, which still baffles for me, which I still find baffling to this day. Now, people have come out in numbers to say what they will. Say what you will. However, I do feel that racism is unjustifiable. Now, we don't know what Prestani Gianluca Prestiani said to Vinicius Jr. However, if you're not guilty of anything, it comes down to the question of why did you cover your face? What are you hiding from? Okay, so it's a thing. It just so happens now that when a player and coach or teammate are communicating, they cover their mouths like this. They cover their mouths. If you follow football, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. However, he goes on to cover his face. I must applaud the referee also, the French referee, who decided to call for time to and the team that stood his teammates that stood in solidarity with their teammate and decided to walk off the pitch. Now, Coach Jose Mourinho, who's the Benfica tactician, apparently made controversial comments, which has raised eyebrows, with some calling him a hypocrite. According to him, he's insinuated that he deserved to be racially abused in the past due to his sometimes provocative personality. Now, he's not far himself from controversy because he's very opinionated. I also feel it is hypocritical of him. Look, I have tons of respect. He's a world-respected figure because of his accomplishments as a mentor in European football, that is. However, we do not condone racism. It is not justified. He's also provoked coaches in the past. I'm sure you are well aware of his encounters with Sir Alex Ferguson and, most importantly, Arsene Wenger during his tenure at Chelsea. Now, the manager has supposedly played the special card from his deck extremely well in the past. However, the racism accusation comes after the Brazilian was on the receiving end of a yellow card after his celebrations. We're not sure what led to the confrontation between the two and him covering his face and saying whatever it is that he said. The player in question has denied the accusation. He's denied the accusation. His team Benfica have taken a firm stand with the player. However, we can't go on like this. That's cowardly if you ask me. I mean, racism in football, we always talk about say no to racism, say no to racism, say no to racism. Now, if he is found guilty, if he's found guilty, he could be on the receiving end of a 10-game ban from all footballing activities. The forward was shown a yellow card, which is supposedly deemed to be excessive celebrations. What is excessive celebration? How do we define? When do you know how to draw the line? Okay, taking off a t-shirt warrants a yellow card. That's what the FIFA rules state. Upon hearing what he said, the offensive winger said to him, he ran to the referee of that day, referee Letexi, who's from France, stating that Prestani halted a racist insult at him, which meant the referee had to stop the game, which is part of the referee's racism protocol. Going forward, I throw in the question that Wesley Gabriel put out on the high press on Thursday. Is this the way to go for officials? Do we halt play when the player is on the receiving end of racism? Are you for it? Yes or no? By the way, please do feel free to comment, share, and subscribe. The show is available on YouTube, All Things Football, Unpacked. We are on Instagram, All Things Football, Football Unpacked. Like the page. Hit that subscribe button. Follow me on TikTok at All Things Football underscore 14. Now, according to Coach Jose Mourinho, he did say that when you score a goal like that, you just celebrate and walk back. They told me different things. I don't believe in one or another. I want to be an independent, he stated. From Mourinho's unlimited bag of tricks, this rate of tone deaf, he's been since been accused of being tone deaf. It remains to be seen whether or not he was abused. However, UEFA can confirm that they are under investigation. They released a statement saying that a UEFA ethics and disciplinary inspector has been appointed to investigate the allegations of discriminatory behavior during the 2025-26 Champions League knockout playoff and between Benfica and Real Madrid. Brent Pastrani could be banned for as many as 10 matches if found guilty of racial abuse. Now, the 20-year-old Argentine has denied any wrongdoing, which has preceded him immediately, sprinting to the referee and paints a different picture. Since his arrival in Spain, the winger has had to deal with a lot of numerous racist incidents, and sometimes why would you weaponize? Why would you play the victim when you are on the receiving end of racism? Why would you fake being racially abused? It makes no logical sense. The anti-discrimination organization kicked it out has joined voices, including the former French legend in Thierry Henry, who had a lot to say on Wednesday during a Super CBS Sports broadcast, and as he was also on the receiving end of racism during his La Liga era. It remains to be. We say here at All Things Football, when we join in solidarity with Vinicius Jr., where we say no to racism. It's the beautiful game. We call football the beautiful game, meant to be played by anyone. Behaviors of this nature are unacceptable. They are not tolerated as they taint the image of the beautiful game. That being said, let's turn to our results for the week that was, from dating all the way back from the 14th of February on Valentine's Day. We saw no love from Orlando Pirates, goals from Tito Maswanganye, Yanela Mbutuman, Role Mofokeng, winning beating Marimo Gallants by 3-0. Polokwane City and Siwelele FC unable to could not provide us with goals. Goals from Sunakolo Kwaiba, Somila Nsundwana, and Sergio Cames were enough to hand Chipa United a 3-0 win at the Buffalo City Stadium. Goals from Litlogonolo Moje, a brace from Litlogonolo Mojela was enough to give Sekhukhune United a 2-0 win against Orbit College. Midweek fixtures. Midweek fixtures in the Betway Premiership. So Mamelodi Sundowns proved too strong for Orlando Pirates in the game that was taken to the FNB Stadium, with a brace from Brian Leon and the one goal pulled back for Orlando Pirates by Tito Maswanganyi, while Stellenbosch FC and Magesi could not be separated, playing to a 1-0 draw. Let's turn our attention at the table after the week of football that was, with Orlando Pirates now on 17 games, while Mamelodi Sundowns have a game in hand. We have a game in hand with the game draw, with the points now narrowed down to the gap narrowed down to 3 points. Sekhukhune United jump to third. Kaizer Chiefs have games in hand on sitting fourth on 30 points. Will they remain in the top 8? We say what you will. However, they've missed the top 8 finished out of the top 8 for 2 successive seasons. Stellenbosch FC continue to fight for relegation as they jump to 13th. Roma Gallants find themselves languishing in 14th. Magesi at the bottom, and will look to turn, with Coach Alan Fields looking to turn the tide. Students of Orbit College find themselves in number 15, while TS Galaxy round up the top 8. Champions League football first leg knockout playoffs took place on Tuesday, starting on Tuesday. Galatasaray too strong for Juventus, winning by 5 goals to 2 in a 7-goal thrilling encounter, and not going that controversial encounter from Vinicius Jr. settled the game between the two sides at Lisbon. PSG coming from 2 goals down to win by 3 goals to 2 against fellow League R side in Monaco. Borussia Dortmund too strong for Atalanta, beating them by 2 goals to 0. Wednesday saw Karabakh losing to Newcastle by 6 goals to 1. Bayer Leverkusen proving too strong for Olympiacos, winning by 2 goals to 0. Club Brugge forced to come back twice to force a 3-all draw after going down by 2 goals to 0 at first ask. Bodo Glimt too strong for Inter Milan, beating them by 3 goals to 1. Our only match week fixture saw Arsenal and Wolves play to a 2-all draw, a game that saw the Wolves come back from 2 goals down. Now, you may be wondering why Arsenal had to play, why we had this game during the week. Now, Arsenal booked themselves a place in the Carabao Cup final, which will take place on the 23rd of March at Wembley Stadium. We saw the Nedbank Cup results. Nedbank Cup football kickoff last night was our only game. Pole Experience making the difference in that game in the second half, in the 54th minute, to make Amazulu the first side to book their place in the quarterfinal. Here's how the Nedbank Cup fixtures look for this week, starting this coming Saturday, which is today. Abington City face Durban City at the Dixie Jacobs, and at 3 p.m. Kickoff for that fixture is at 3 p.m. TS Galaxy welcome Orlando Pirates at the Solomon Masango Stadium. Golden Arrows welcome Stellenbosch at the King Kudo Zerlitini Stadium. Kickoff for that fixture is at 1800 hours. Orlando Pirates will finish things off with Keswick Stars at the Orlando Amstel Arena. Kickoff for that fixture is also at 1800 hours. Tomorrow we'll see Melfort taking on Umkambati at the Mhlatuza Sports Complex. Jackson Spears welcome Vasco da Gama at the Mkolisi Diki Stadium, Jacob Stadium, while University of Pretoria will welcome Sukuna United at Tax Stadium. Kick off all those games. Sunday fixtures will kick off simultaneously at 3 p.m. Saturday sees Aston Villa in the Premier League. We'll see Aston Villa welcome Leeds United. Brentford take on Brighton, while Chelsea take on Burnley. West Ham take on Bournemouth, or Manchester City welcome Newcastle United. Sunday sees Liverpool taking on Crystal Palace, while Nottingham Forest take on Liverpool on Sunday. Crystal Palace take on a struggling Wolves. Sunderland take on Fulham, while Tottenham Hotspur will welcome Arsenal in a North London derby, where Arsenal will look to up the ante and put the pressure on Manchester United. On Manchester City, I beg your pardon. Monday we round up the weekend of football that lies ahead, with Everton welcoming Manchester United, looking for what will be their first league double since the 2013-2014 season. Champions League football will returns with the second leg in the knockout playoffs, where we see Atletico Madrid taking on Club Brugge, Newcastle take on Karabakh, Bayer Leverkusen welcome Olympiacos, while Inter Milan welcome Bodo Glimt at the San Siro. Wednesday sees Atalanta take on Borussia Dortmund, Juventus welcome Galatasaray, French League R encounter in Paris Saint-Germain taking on AS Monaco, while we finish off with Real Madrid taking on Benfica at the Santiago Bernabeu for the return leg, where Real Madrid take an advantage of an odd goal. That's all we have time for the week of football that lies ahead. Remember to go on your social media platforms where the program will be available. We are on YouTube, All Things Football Unpacked. Your support is much appreciated. Thanking you in advance for taking the time to watch out of your busy schedules. We are also on TikTok at All Things Football _14, to Instagram at All Things Football _14. Like the page on Facebook, All Things Football Unpacked. not forgetting YouTube. Like this, like and subscribe, share, throw in, post a comment, tell us what you think, tell us what needs to improve. What do you think of the new news? What stood out for you? Hope you enjoy the show. Hope you enjoy the football. Let's do it again next week. From myself, Apio Khoto, coming to you from my mother's dining table in Mtata. Do the noble thing. Take care of yourselves and each other. Cheers.